Somebody really liked it when I smashed the Andiamo button.
They did.
And it's actually pretty funny. I think that's the best addition to this setup.
Yeah. Thanks, Valer.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are your host, Tyler.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Miller, the one and only.
The one, the only, in the flesh.
So you were only 15 minutes late today, or actually 20 minutes late. But it was funny. I got a text at 8:15, and you said I'm 2 minutes away. I said, he's not 2 minutes away. 5 minutes later, shows up.
I was like I felt like I underestimated, okay?
Shocking. All right, welcome back. Thank you to our title sponsor of this show. This show would not be possible without them. The Pickler. The Pickler is incredible.
The Pickler is about to be front,
Showcased.
center, showcased.
To the entire world.
They're putting it all on the line for MLP Salt Lake.
Yep. So thank you to the Pickler for hosting MLP and also for creating, building incredible pickleball facilities all across the world. If you're interested in starting your own franchise, your own facility, your own business, reach out to the Pickler and tell them the guys at KOTC sent you. Also, in addition, another sponsor of the show is Stack Athletics.
Stack.
Right here.
Right here.
It is
You can't see, but down
the
there.
clothing choice by many. Keep that leg down. It is the clothing choice of many of the professional pickleball players. Quality is incredible. We love them. Yeah. They're coming out with some really sweet and good stuff.
And they have a new, it's called Flow. What is it called? Flow
program
Flow
or
program.
Something like that.
So
anyways,
if you're like a aspiring professional, which there are a lot of them out there, Stack wants to get behind you. They want to help you look good on the court because you look good, you feel good, you play good, right?
Yep.
And they want to get behind and sponsor some aspiring pros and outfit them in Stack for their run to the top. So
exactly.
Fill out the form.
Lululemon has their Sweat Collective program. Viore has their program. And so this is pretty much Stack's athletics program to help players dress good, a little bit more economical.
Yep.
Spread the word. So go check them out.
Yeah.
Last thing, Pickleball Central. They are a sponsor of this show. We've been doing some pretty sweet reviews with them. Man, there's a lot of critics. I thought there were a lot of critics on this show, but there's also a lot of critics on paddle reviews and review videos. I
don't read the comments, Tyler.
Do you ever read the comments?
Once in a while, but then I just cry myself to sleep, so I had to stop.
Man,
you know what they say? The comment sections are the worst human beings on the planet.
There's some good people in there.
There are some good ones. But like if you ever read the comment sections of like the newspaper, absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. Anyways,
but with that being said, there are some good people.
In conjunction, in partnership with Pickleball Central, we are creating some new videos on different products that they have to offer on Pickleballdotcom. Go check them out. Use code KOTC. We have no idea what the status is with our code with Pickleball Central. So type it in. If it works, awesome. You're saving yourself some money. If not, then we will try our best to get it corrected.
Were the comments about me bagging Britt when she helped us film that video?
That
was a pretty good shot. I didn't mean to.
No, I don't even think we put that in the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the last one was on the Proton paddles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then before that, we did the Beezer ball.
Yeah.
And then the next one, we'll be doing a ball machine, the Titan ball machine.
Titan, yeah.
Yeah. So go check it out. Should be out in the next week or so.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy.
Tyler.
This next week, we were just in BCO, Michigan. Beer City,
Grand Rapids.
For the mid-season tournament.
Yeah.
And we are back. We love pickleball. We want to play pickleball every single day.
Now we are going to be in Kaysville, Utah.
Yeah. I like to say Salt Lake City.
Yeah. It's about 20 minutes north of Salt Lake for those that are coming to the event. If you are and you need tickets, use code KOTC.
If they can say LA Open for Los Cab, which is an hour outside of LA, then we can say Salt Lake for Kaysville.
Yeah, it's close. It's a suburb. So MLP,
it
SLC.
is not the mid-season tournament, so more teams will be there, and this does count towards the standings.
This does. So there are only 4 Challenger teams attending. Yeah. Only the West Coast Challenger teams will be there.
Correction,
so California Black Bears, the SoCal Hard Eights, Las Vegas Night Owls, and the Bay Area Breakers.
Okay.
And then every Premier team will be there except DC I believe, and the Hustlers.
Wait, sorry to interrupt. I have to ask you,
Yeah.
Are you still defending Michelle's call?
No, I never defended it to begin with. I said it was a bad call, okay? How about this?
That's not what the comments were saying.
How about this? Okay, let's put this to bed. I'm over it.
I kind of want to move on.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say this, okay? It was a bad call. We messed up.
You should have corrected her.
There is a lot of things that we could have done differently. If we could go back and change them, we would. No, we're not forfeiting the match. No, we're not going to send Michelle to Exile Island. No, she should not be banned from MLP for the rest of her life.
But we didn't bring up her history.
No, we didn't bring up her history, which, again, I don't think it was important in the context. But yes, it was a bad call. Yes, we screwed up. Yes, there are a million things that we wish we could have done differently. Florida Smash, we apologize. Yes, Yates Johnson, you're still mentally weak. But Travis was right in his thing. And in the end, what we want is we want change. And I think Travis are in agreement of that. And I actually.
So you're defending the call?
I'm not defending the call.
It sounds like
it was a bad call. And so we, in lack of a better words, we effed up. Okay. Now, I did talk to somebody who has the power to implement change and the power to make sure that these video review and things like that will continue.
And will they?
And it sounds like things are trending in that direction.
For MLP or PPA or both?
Both. And it sounds like they're working on it and they have a viable solution.
I feel like they've been working on it for quite some time, though.
But I think that they have the solution in place. Now it's just a matter of coming to an agreement.
There's always been a solution in place. It's been money.
That's the thing, is it's money. So maybe, would you give back 1% of your contract for line cameras?
Yeah, I think if everybody did it, not if just a select
Well, they would
players.
never ask Ben and Anley to do it. I mean, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah.
What if they said if you don't give it back, you have to go teach clinics?
How many?
Without line calls.
How many?
Without video. Anyway, so it's over. It's done. We're putting it to bed.
Once again, to reiterate, not once did Jimmy defend that call. It was never about the call. The call was atrocious. It was bad. It was wrong. It was incorrect. It was the stuff that came afterwards is what he was defending.
Yeah, and I'll even throw that all out. I won't even defend that. The call was bad. It's over with.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
MLP, Salt Lake City. Let's go. So four challenger teams will be there.
Yeah, so those four.
Okay.
And then every premier team except for the two that I mentioned, I believe DC and the Hustlers. I know the Hustlers for sure. Yeah, DC and the Hustlers. So it starts Thursday, the 25th. Mm-hmm. And it starts with literally like a full slate. Mm-hmm. I think there's 8 matches starting at noon on Thursday.
So this is, as we said, inside the Pickler, which will be indoor. It's going to be in a controlled environment. The lighting should be good.
So the Pickler has great lighting. They've spent a lot of money on their lighting. So the lighting should be good. But we've talked about Ben Johns indoors. Mm-hmm. I think we've mentioned this before, and Ben actually mentioned it himself. So for those that don't know, Ben had some sort of nerve damage in his eye when he was like 9 years old. Mm-hmm. And so if the lighting is not...
Was that from Colin?
Probably. Colin probably shot him with a Nerf gun or something. So if
that.
Yeah. If the lighting is not perfect indoors, he struggles. Mm-hmm. We've seen it. Ben... And this essentially opts to not play indoors just because he does struggle picking up the ball and picking up the lighting because of that childhood injury. So hopefully the Pickler lighting is suffice for Ben. Mm-hmm. I think it's as good of lighting as you're going to find indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, they've definitely spared no expense on the lighting. Yeah. There's not much difference between going indoors at the Pickler and outdoor, in my opinion, other than there's no glare and wind and all of those things. So that'll be an interesting kind of a storyline to watch out for. Mm-hmm. Also, did you know Annalise goggles that she wears, her protective eyewear, are prescription?
Yes.
So she also has some sight issues. So that's one thing. Okay. Second thing, Ben's team. Let's talk about him for a second.
Carolina. So they used to be the Pioneers.
They were Seattle Pioneers.
Transferred over to Carolina.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money moving their team to Carolina.
Yep.
I believe they sent an email.
Yep.
And they're now the Carolina, what are they? Carolina Pickleball Club.
Yeah. Yep.
Really super creative name.
Yep.
And they have quite a few matches, but they played twice in Bear City. They went 0-6.
Mm-hmm.
Ben and Jesse didn't even play the second mixed match, which was an interesting decision. I don't know if they were under the weather or feeling the effects of something, but neither one of them chose to play in that, which I thought was an odd choice. You would think that you would send out your best mixed team when you are in a must-win situation, unless they were not capable. Mm-hmm. And so will they bounce back? I mean, don't you think that
well, it'll be interesting because up till now there's been 0 trades.
None.
And so
how, truthfully, and maybe it's Dundon not wanting to pay money. Maybe it's Dave Fleming having way too much on his plate. But I know that there have been inquiries about Coop.
And Jesse, I think.
And Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been a lot of them.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been really, we haven't heard, and maybe they've been close and haven't been able to come to some sort of agreement. Mm-hmm. But Coop would actually go play Challenger. I think she would for the right team.
I think she'd play Premier too. I mean, it's not just
I'm saying she could play Premier too, yeah. So I'm confused why you haven't gone out and, Brooke Buckner and Colin have had success. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you trade Coop for Brooke Buckner?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Colin Schick or Colin Johns?
No, I'm saying Colin Johns. Colin Johns and Brooke Buckner played together.
Uh-huh. Gotcha.
Yeah, and they or why wouldn't you play Alex Trong?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, there's a lot, or what if you drop down to the Challenger level and you get Eva Razakowska?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's players.
As you've been saying recently, just to throw something out there to shake things up, to give a different look. Yeah. You should be trying something.
Yeah. I just think that at some point you can't sit on it. Now, there's teams that, present company included, the Black Bears, that we're always shaking it up. Mm-hmm. And we are always trying to mix and mingle and hit a home run. Yeah. And then there's teams that are just going to sit and rest on it, and it's crazy to me.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe Ben has plans for November and doesn't want to make the playoffs, and so he's they're good.
They do have one win though, right, in their standings.
They have a win. Yeah. And they weren't horrible in DC. Mm-hmm. They weren't horrendous in DC, but they weren't great either. Not as bad as they were at BCO. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm curious what happens. I just feel like you've got to shake it up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Jesse has real value. Can you trade Jesse and get back?
Every single person on that team has value. It's just with who.
Who takes Colin?
You would know better than me. You're a GM. You'd know all the teams a little bit better.
If you're the Atlanta...
I mean, he could do well with somebody like O'Reilly. Somebody who,
but they hate it. They wouldn't even practice together.
Yeah, I mean...
against each other.
A similar style to Riley.
Yeah.
Who else is there? I mean...
The problem is you have to do it.
A Xiaomei? Somebody like a Xiaomei?
Well, that's what I'm saying. A Xiaomei would be great, but would Atlanta trade Xiaomei for Colin Johns?
Yeah.
I think you'd almost have to give them Cooper Jesse too.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a fit for these players. It just depends on where that is.
Could Todd Folk play next to Ben?
Next to Ben?
Yeah, as just a right side guy.
He's interesting because in MLP he's the MLP king.
Yeah,
literally he's done incredible.
Yeah,
but in PPA he hasn't had as much.
But if you put him next to Ben and he's just the right side, he's Colin 2.0. Mm-hmm. Could he do it?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Who knows?
And then you put Xiaomei and Colin Johns together.
Do you know what they call Todd?
What?
They say Fote the GOAT. Todd Fote the GOAT.
I mean, Todd is very, very good at MLP Challenger. Very, very good. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be something that.
Okay, what other storylines are you excited for?
So a couple other ones.
Does Utah get their first win?
Does Utah get their first win at home?
At home.
At the house that Tyler built.
Hey, by the way, if you're interested in getting tickets, KOTC has a code for spectators and also registrations. So if you're looking to play in a PPA or MLP, spectate, use code KOTC at checkout for a little bit of a discount.
Yeah, I think that's a big storyline. Again, I think your team could use a shakeup as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like, if things aren't working, maybe you just try and shake it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I do feel like, I mean, you were 13th or something in the standings.
Yeah, for BCO.
For BCO, you had a winning record.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. So we'll see what happens with that. The other big storyline for me is, can their, I guess, what is it? I don't want to call it their strategy.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. Can they continue to just go 2-2 with their men losing, with Zane losing, and Annalie continuing to win and then just beating everybody in the Dream Breaker? Like, that is how they're built. And that's how the Night Owls are built too. And the Night Owls will be there as well. Can they continue that? I mean, Zane,
I don't think that's sustainable.
I don't think it is either. But again, to this point, it's worked for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Zane was 42 out of 48. He didn't win at all in Atlanta. Didn't have a single win. And yet they are, as a team, they're doing pretty good.
I mean, this might be a little bit later on we discuss this, but should Zane be traded?
I mean, that's another interesting question. It's hard to trade someone when you're on top, but you also have to foreshadow a little bit as a GM and as an owner and as a coach. And say,
can you explain to us once again the rules about dropping players? So you have to, you're required to drop one person at the end of this year, at the end of 2024.
So during the season, you can drop a player every 2 tournaments. So there's no drop period till after Kansas City. So
there's trades, but
there are trades, but no drops. So everybody on your roster, unless you trade them, will be on your roster for Salt Lake and Kansas City. After Kansas City will be the next drop period. Now, at the end of the season, the way that it is set up right now is you can keep 3 of your 4 players.
Okay.
You can keep 3 of the 4, but you have to pay 50% of what their auction price was. So, for example, Ben Johns was, $630,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, if you want to keep Ben Johns, you have to pay $300,000 next year. And that goes to the league.
That's crazy.
That's part of the league.
Is that normal for leagues like NBA or stuff like that? Are they paying the league?
There's nothing normal about this league. I mean, there are league fees that they pay, but yeah, it's wild. So that's how it works. Now, there's teams out there, and I actually saw a tweet about this. I think it was Anna Bright.
What are the chances those rules get changed?
Oh, there's a 100% chance that they get tweaked or changed. I mean, everything is always evolving. I know that for a fact right now that there's a team that is trying to get a rule changed right now to pick up a player. Because here's another rule, okay? One of the other rules that's out there is you can only use the same player as an injury replacement once.
Ever or like per season?
Ever. Oh, per season, for that player. Yeah. So, for example, we use Spencer Smith.
Yeah.
We could never use Spencer Smith again.
But you can pick him up, though, if you wanted.
You'd have to pick him up permanently, but then you'd have to drop the injured player.
Yeah.
So, just for example, the Mad Drops. They have Thomas Wilson. He's hurt, right? They use Blaine Havanier. They cannot use Blaine again for Salt Lake. They have to pick up a different player, and that player has to come off of a list that MLP sends out.
Or they'd have to drop Thomas.
And pick up a player permanently.
Yeah.
Now, if you drop Thomas, I think people will scramble to get Thomas, throw him back on the injured reserve list, and then just pick up a player, and hope he's ready for next year.
Yeah.
Or however long he's going to be out for.
Yeah.
So that's another rule that I think there needs to be some sort of long-term IR.
Yeah.
We had to drop DJ because, again, we would be on our 4th or 5th different player.
Yeah.
For these tournaments. And it sucks because DJ was, like I said, he was essentially a first-round pick for us. He's a great player, but we really didn't have a choice. And so Bay Area, who picked up DJ, they used Grayson Golden at BCO, and they're going to use someone else for Salt Lake, and then hope DJ's back for Kansas City.
Yeah.
So it's those rules are interesting. Now, if you pick up a player who is unsigned, here's another crazy rule. If you pick up a player who's unsigned, so say I want to go get Chris Hayworth. He's not signed to PPA.
Yeah.
I can get him for Salt Lake for one event, but I have to pay $20,000, or the team does, for one event.
Because he's unsigned?
Because he's unsigned.
If he was unsigned but not on the team, you just have to negotiate with that player directly, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And they just get the league minimum.
Gotcha.
But if he's unsigned, it's $20,000.
Gotcha.
We can pick him up, but we can't keep him. So what if he balls out? What if Hayworth is a stud in MLP, and then we can't use him again?
Yep.
because we could only pick them up for an injured player once. And then we'd have to wait till after Kansas City and then our turn in the waiver period to pick him up permanently. And if he balls out in Salt Lake, you don't think that everyone else is going to see that?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of strategy and like gameplay here too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Grayson Golden played pretty well. He only played one match against us, but he played pretty well.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you want people to see how well these guys play? Do you don't? You know?
Well, he's not signed though.
Who?
Grayson Golden.
He is.
He is?
He is signed now, yeah.
Since when?
But Bay Area didn't pay $20,000 for Grayson Golden to play.
Man, I'm so confused.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. So here's the other interesting thing at the end of the year, and we'll talk about this obviously throughout the year, but St. Louis Shock is a great example. Okay? They love Anna Bright. They love Hayden. They love Gabe Tardio, and Kate Fahey has been great for them. Right? One of them's got to go.
Yep.
So who do you keep?
Everybody except for Kate.
Yeah, I mean, Kate is obviously the odd person out, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or do you keep Kate because high-level females are harder to find?
Nobody's dropping Anna.
I don't think anyone's dropping Anna, Hayden, or Gabe at this point.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting. But then those players, my understanding, will go back into like a little mini draft. And
if, theoretically speaking, could somebody cut one of those players and then pick them back up if nobody picks them?
Yeah, if nobody gets them, they can.
Gotcha.
Yep. I mean, the fives, right? Do the fives keep Will Howells? Do they keep Zane? Do they keep Mari?
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a lot of interesting things at play. We'll see how it plays out and what changes. But for Salt Lake,
I'm predicting, I think a lot of players and spectators will really enjoy this event. I personally love indoors. I think all MLP events should be indoors. I think 60% of PPAs should be indoors.
Rob Nunnery thinks pickleball should be indoors.
I think it should too. 100%.
Yeah.
I always go back to this, but look at basketball. You don't see NBA teams playing outdoors.
You got to play the wind, Tyler, in basketball. Chain nets, double rims, play the wind.
That'd be awesome. Okay, any other storylines for MLP Salt Lake?
No, this is the last event I believe that Daskew is out for.
Okay.
So I don't know who the drive are going to take.
I think we do play the drive in one of the
Yeah,
matchups.
I think you do too. So this is the other thing. The drive cannot pick up AJ again.
Yeah.
At least as of right now.
Even though it was for the mid-season tournament, which doesn't count towards the standings.
He's still one time.
Huh.
So again, like it's kind of a weird situation. So must-see TV for those that want to know is the last match of the entire event, 6 p.m. Sunday night, the 28th on Championship Court. It'll be broadcast on the Tennis Channel. Tyler Loon.
Go Diamonds. Unless I get dropped before then.
Yes. Jay DeVilliers, Callie Smith, Alex Trong take on Tyson McGuffin.
The Squeeze.
And the Orlando Squeeze.
Who's the mom going to be cheering for?
The team. I think her kid will be cheering for the Squeeze.
They all have their Squeeze shirts. So
I know.
I'm not too surprised it'll be the Squeeze.
I know. And guess what? We play the Breakers right before that. So
nice.
I'll be there for you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Unless they kick me off the sidelines again.
That means a lot. Tell them you own the place. You can't kick them off.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Is like they don't understand how much run of the pickler we have.
Yeah.
So
should we go in before and make some like dead bounces or some weird lights that only we know about?
Yeah, we should like
rig the courts a little bit.
Yeah, let's just rig it up. Like you guys don't understand that this spot right here, the ball doesn't come up on for sure. So you guys play. Let's look at Black Diamonds. You guys have a tough schedule. Let's be real.
Okay.
You guys play the Shock.
Okay.
You guys play.
Is that our first match?
Nope. Your first match is against Mad Drops.
Okay. Depends on who they pick up, but yeah.
Yep. And then you play the Drive.
Wait, is Emily on their team too? Or
No.
was that a pickup?
Yeah, that's a pickup.
So Catherine will be.
Catherine's back.
Yeah.
So Catherine, Hunter, and Jade will be there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another guy, whoever
Gotcha.
that guy is. So you play the Drive. You play the Mad Drops. Then you play the Flash.
Okay.
Then you play Ben in Carolina. And then you play the Shock. And then you finish with the Squeeze.
Wait, how many matches do we have?
6.
Oh, I thought we had 4.
6. Better lock in, Ty. You better lock in, bro.
I'm ready.
Your first day is very winnable.
Huh.
Your next 2 days, I mean, everything's winnable, but they get tougher.
Yeah. Sweet. Let's go.
But honestly,
Diamonds.
Indoors, Carolina.
We need to get our first dub.
They're super disaffected.
Hey, we had 3 match points.
I know. And you get Arizona again.
Yeah.
And they won't have AJ.
Yeah.
Can they have someone better than AJ?
I mean, who are your options? Well, I guess anybody from Challenger.
If they want to, yeah. So this is where it's different.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 Challenger teams there, you can actually bring up a Challenger player. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I actually have an issue with this.
I just feel like that's so weird to go pick somebody else and say, hey, for this tournament, you're playing for our team.
Yes, so you could actually bring up a Challenger player if they're not there. So there's 6 teams that have players available.
Yeah.
So does someone go get Jaume? Does someone go get Travis?
Yeah.
Now the Challenger teams, essentially, you have to rent those players, so you can.
So you'd have to pay.
You have to pay, but this is where I have an issue. Travis Rettenmeyer is an owner of the Florida Smash. He gets an opportunity to go. So, for example, we had a team reach out to us to have one of our players play Atlanta for them. Right? We gave them a number. They didn't like that number. They chose to go with somebody else. Okay.
Who was it?
For us, I don't want to say, but because for us it was like, you know, like we're helping you guys, like we're doing you a favor. I don't know. Like there's really nothing in it for us other than I guess reps for our player, but also we want to give our players an opportunity if they could, you know, go ball out on the big stage, we'll let them.
Yeah.
But Travis Rettenmeyer, he owns the Smash, or he's part owner of the Smash. I don't know what percentage. I'm sure I don't think it's a ton, but he is a part owner. A team comes to him, say the Mad Drops, go to Travis and say, hey, do you want to play for us? Who's to say Travis won't go play for them for free because he owns the team, doesn't need to require anything in return, and he can go play Premier.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like there's a little bit of an advantage there by him owning the team.
Yeah, I just feel like the whole premise of it is so weird. I mean, I always go back to basketball, but could you imagine somebody's in the Celtics are in the finals and LeBron's out? Hey, LeBron, can you come suit up just for the finals? Yeah. It's like it doesn't make sense. I don't think that should be allowed.
Yeah. And I do think if they're doing this, there needs to be a set number, like a specific amount of money, as opposed to negotiating with the team.
It's not even the money. It's just the whole idea around it.
Yes, well, I agree
So
too.
foreign.
The only reason that I agree with you, but with it being if it was Premier to Premier or Challenger to Challenger,
that's why I'm saying there needs to be 3 or 4 people on a team, 3 or 4 guys on a team. So that in these situations, you can just pull from your reserve.
No, you got to go 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, they screwed up not going 6 for Challenger at least, but there should be 6 on every team.
Yeah. And then you have that, and you don't run into these situations.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we still have DJ on our team right now, and we probably still have Brandon French on our team, and we roll with 6.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple of MLPs ago, we got into that Dream Breaker, and they were talking about bringing Yana in just for the Dream Breaker.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like the weirdest thing. That's so.
I know that was the beginning of the end for Brooks. When Brooks said that was an actual rule, I've never been like. I was like me and Samin. I was on your sideline at the time, and Samin and I were talking. We were like, "This is the most asinine thing ever."
Yeah.
Like, could you again? We can compare it to other sports, but yeah, can you imagine being like, "Hey, I'm going to have this player that's not on our team."
Yeah.
It's not like a player off the bench that's not on our team come in and shoot free throws.
Yeah.
With the game tied to send it to, to win the game. Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I mean, I'm excited for MLP. Like you said, I think it's going to be a great event.
It's going to be loud. It's indoors.
It'll be loud. Utah fans are rabid. You've seen it at Red Rock. You're going to see it here at MLP. Utah loves pickleball.
Yep.
They love it. So and I've seen the build out. I've seen the plans. I've talked to obviously George and Austin and all those guys over there at the Pickler a lot about this. In fact, I'm going on the radio on Monday.
Which radio? National radio?
1280 The Zone.
Let's go.
To do a little radio spot for MLP.
Do you have to drive somewhere, or are you phoning in?
I don't actually know. I'm supposed to find that out today.
Yeah.
But I'll go in studio. Frick.
They're going to hire you for personality. They're going to steal you from KOTC.
The amount of work and money and thought that has gone into this is going to be sick. There's going to be big stands in there. They're going to VIP, all of that. So I'm pumped.
Okay, real quick, we got to give a big shout out to the next sponsor of this segment, which is C&D Pickleball Nets. They're incredible. They are the best pickleball nets available.
Speaking of picklers, who does Picklers nets?
C&D does.
C&D nets.
Yep. So if you're interested in purchasing the best pickleball for your courts, your facility, for your church, for your gym, for your driveway. Go check them out at bestpickleballnets.com and use code KOTC, and you will save yourself a little bit of money, and you're also supporting the KOTC show.
Yeah, there's not a better net out there. We all know that. Everybody is very, very aware that they're the best nets on the market. So go check them out. They're worth every penny. The construction, the quality.
And they're good people. We like working with good people.
We like supporting good people, exactly. So,
all right. Okay, Jimmy, what else?
So, one quick thing. So, there's a lot of social media. Like, we're social media guys.
Are you a content creator?
I am not a content creator.
Are you an influencer?
I'm not an influencer. And you obviously are not the best content creator in pro pickleball.
I'm a nobody.
Because Pickleball.com did their midseason awards.
I did see that. That was released a few days ago, yeah.
And I believe that only, I don't know this for a fact, but it was inferred to us that there wasn't a very large panel of voters.
A very large pool of
voters. It seemed that it was
just picking and choosing.
It seemed that it was one, maybe two people that essentially chose every award. So one of them was Tyson McGuffin. Was best content creator.
That's great.
Is Tyson McGuffin the best pro content creator? Like, I mean it sincerely. I think all of these awards we can discuss.
It's tricky how you're defining it. If you're talking about views and stuff like that, and also, are you referring to strictly pro? Because there's a lot of other.
I think it's pro. I think it's pro players. We'll refer to strictly pro pickleball players as opposed to like influencers.
I don't mind that. I don't think it's that far off. He used to do a lot more. He hasn't been doing that much recently that I'm aware of. He used to be putting out.
Do you watch Making McGuffin?
I have not yet seen that. Have you?
I watched one episode.
How was it?
Yeah, I'll plead the fifth.
Okay.
No, it was truthfully, it was kind of boring. Like, it has nothing to do with them. It's just like it wasn't that interesting to me.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Some of the other ones were a little bit interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the ones out there, like best. So they did best GM. Mm-hmm. First of all, they called it best GM, and then they did Scott Crandall and Kyle McKenzie for MLP, who are neither of who are GMs. Mm-hmm. They're actually coaches. Mm-hmm. So then they changed it to best coach. So Kyle McKenzie wins best coach.
Your favorite, our favorite.
Yeah, that's a weird one for me. The only reason is Lee Waters won best coach for PPA, and Lee Waters' team in MLP, the Fives, just won the BCO and beat DC. So why wouldn't Lee Waters be the best coach? That doesn't make sense.
Sounds like you got a bone to pick.
Well, does everyone get a trophy, like participation award? Lee can't win twice. If she's the best coach for PPA and her MLP team just beat DC, then she would be the best coach for MLP too.
Unless they were saying like DC, this is just in theory, saying that his team was so bad that they brought him up to here. And you're saying that New Jersey's was already up here, so that they didn't need much coaching.
Yeah, I think it's actually the opposite. I think New Jersey's team on paper is way worse than DC's team.
Yeah.
I think on paper, New Jersey's team actually has been elevated. And DC, it's literally just don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Don't overcoach them.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. Scott Crandall got best coach for Challenger. Again, I think that they mistaked coach for GM. Because.
Are you the best GM out there? Or is Kloss?
No, I have zero. I mean, I can't call myself the best of anything when you go 1-6 in an event. But Scott Crandall, for instance, I think Scott's a great coach, but I think they meant best GM, who's Jeff, who obviously traded Glausman, ended up getting Elise, ended up getting Jilly B,
yeah,
and built his team that way. So there's a lot of interesting things. I just feel like if you're going to do an award show, and I think the awards are good.
They should have called you.
No, they shouldn't have called me, but you should know the difference between who's a coach and who's a GM.
Well, it's hard when you're picking when one person's picking everything.
Yeah, exactly. And its fan favorite was Ben Johns. Does that surprise you? Do you think Ben Johns is the fan favorite in pickleball?
You got to give it to Ben, Tyson, or Annalie.
Annalie won.
Fan favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What about this? This was the one that I think that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Most athletic. Males. We call them men or males?
Both.
Christian.
Okay.
I don't really have a huge issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
Females was Lacey Schneeman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like the term athletic gets thrown around so much. People don't know what to say, and so they'll say, "Oh, that person did such an athletic move" or something like that. But to me, athletic means being able to participate in multiple sports or multiple activities and being very good at each of those without doing a lot of practicing for those sports.
Do you think Christian's good at other sports?
I don't know. I haven't seen him, but I mean, he seems athletic.
What about Lacey?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
I bet Lacey would make a hell of a girl softball player.
Softball player?
Yeah.
I could see like soccer. I don't know.
She would make a good girl softball player.
Interesting.
Probably a good point guard too. All right. What about biggest personality? Jack Sock and Anna Bright.
I mean, I feel like you'd have to go with Tyson on that one.
I do too, actually. Yeah. Oddly enough. And Anna's a good pick though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Sock's isn't terrible though.
He's fine. Most improved male.
Who was it?
Big H.
Okay, I would agree with that. That or Tardio, but the thing I'd say with H is he's doing it in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles.
And triples? Oh.
And triples? Interesting. Tardio, he's doing it mostly in men's doubles.
Okay.
Mostly.
Most improved female.
Who'd they put?
I mean, it's. I think this one was the easiest one out of all.
Who is it?
Tina Pisnik.
Okay. She's been great for the past year, though.
Yeah.
Like, are they referring to this year alone?
Well, I think it's the midseason awards, yeah. But her rise from the beginning of the year to now.
Sure.
You know, breakout male. Your boy QD.
QD. Okay, he's done great in singles. Really good in singles.
Yeah.
Mixed, I don't think he's had a ton of results.
He hasn't had a ton of results in a few things. And then Caitlin Christian was breakout female.
Yeah, that one was a little interesting. She's been around for... A lot of people don't realize this, but she's actually been around for probably over 5 years, probably 6 years.
Wow, yeah, I don't think they do realize that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then last one, player of the year, women's, no surprise, Emily Waters.
Okay.
Men's, a little bit of a surprise.
Who was it?
Fed.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
He has a men's doubles gold.
Yeah.
Multiple singles golds.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's made those 10 straight finals.
Yeah.
I think he has 2 or 3 bronze. I don't know how. I don't think he has any. He has a couple mixed bronze, but not a mixed gold.
Yep.
But still.
Should they have done like worst player or worst improved player?
Yeah, you 100%
player.
Yeah, you should.
In terms of rankings.
Yeah, you should 100% do like overrated.
Yeah.
Like this is why the players should vote, and it should be anonymous.
Uh-huh.
You should do worst venue.
Yeah.
Right. You should do most overrated player. Yeah. You should do like the one that smells the worst. Worst hygiene. No?
Do it.
You should do worst dressed, which we did.
Okay.
Worst teammate.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Right? Like who's the worst teammate? And it should be anonymous, so players can be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, worst venue or worst facility, Daytona would win in a landslide.
Yeah. Except for Daytona's center court is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's it, though. And the only people who get to play there are Ben and Annalie.
The layout actually isn't bad. The courts are actually nice.
What about the surrounding area, Tyler?
The surrounding area is not great. That's the bad part about it. The actual venue is pretty nice.
It's okay.
Yeah. Like if they had that in California, people would
I do
be
think they should do
it.
that. They should do it like an anonymous players poll.
Yeah.
I just think some of that stuff would be interesting. How about best couple?
Best couple? Yeah, you'd have a lot of people to choose from.
Who would be your best couple in pickleball?
Got to be Hunter and Paris, right?
Over Lucy and Matt?
I think so, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Also, speaking of, did you get a chance? Are you a gamer?
So I used to be back in the day. I haven't played in years, but I did download the new PPA video game.
Did you? I heard it was $50, right?
$50.
Did you get a discount?
Didn't get. KOTC did not work.
Wow.
And I'm going to give 2 thoughts on this.
Okay.
Number 1, it's awesome that there's a PPA video game. Okay, that's cool. Honestly, like there's no denying that.
I was supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
But they claim, since I was left-handed,
yeah,
that it messed up with their coding or something to that extent. And so I'll be in there in the future updates.
Yeah.
But I went through all the training and all the suits and everything like that.
Yeah. So here's the issue. there's cool that there's a video game, but you've seen how far video games have come. You've seen what video games are like these days. You've seen how realistic they are. I mean, College Football 25 just came out, and it might be the greatest game of all time. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a gamer. Mm-hmm. You've seen where we have come in video games. This game sets video games back 2 decades.
Okay.
It's like playing Cubert on friggin' Nintendo back in the day. It is like an 8-bit game. Yeah. The movements are clunky. Even the start button looks like they took a picture of your freaking keyboard and hit enter. It's just very, very poor graphics, everything about it. But
they had the interns doing it.
But it is a PPA video game. The actual game itself, like playing it, isn't bad. Nobody can get to the kitchen line. You have firefights from the baseline. You can actually earn without touching the ball.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah, there's no lefties in the game. Mm-hmm. It's missing a lot of pro players. The attention to the detail is actually interesting. Like Leia has her neck tattoo, and she has her little patch.
The logos are pretty sweet on the side.
The logos, there's a massive Selkirk logo in the middle of the kitchen. Uh-huh. I'm not sure where that came from or why, but they must have paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that are like, okay. I mean, in the end, it is a PPA video game, so props to them.
Yeah.
Would I like my $50 back? Yes.
Okay.
The game, but yeah, I mean, if you're not like a big gamer and you don't understand how far video games have come, then you probably will like it.
Okay.
But if you've played a video game in the last, say, since Atari, there's a good chance that you're going to be like, what the hell is this? So, yeah. Anyways, that's my...
Imagine going into a coma 20 years ago. Last game you play is N64, Atari. You wake up, the next game you play is this PPA game. They'll think nothing has changed.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh my gosh, technology has not improved at all. It's actually gotten worse. Yeah, like if you have like an Oculus and you're like playing VR, and then you go put this game on, it's like, what is happening? So...
All right. Anything else, Jimmy?
No. I mean, did you see? There's something that kind of just made me laugh since we were talking about.
Doge is up to over 13 cents.
This guy.
Let's go, Doge, right there.
Did you see Ignatowicz's Instagram post?
I did not. What was it?
So he made a post after DC. So all these players make posts usually after events, right? Mm-hmm. You got to keep up with the content. And he made this post after DC, and it said, love playing with Deckel as a men's partner and Rachel as a mixed partner. Mm-hmm. And it had like pictures of DC, of his team. No mention at all of Glausman. No mention of the rest of his, like.
Maybe he just forgot to do it.
You forgot a teammate?
Sometimes you like.
I mean, do you think that was intentional?
I don't know.
There's a lot of rumors swirling. So my question is, was it intentional?
What are those rumors swirling?
Just that Glausman's taller than him.
Okay. She's not.
You think?
She's not.
How tall is James?
He's got to be, what, 6'2"?
Probably 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3". She's probably 6 feet, 6'1".
You think she's 6 feet? Like legit 6-footer?
She's probably 5'11" to 6 foot.
Should she have played volleyball?
I thought she did.
Did she?
I thought so.
I don't know.
She looks like she would. She looks like she'd be good.
I feel like she'd be a good like outside hitter.
Mm-hmm. Her and Elise.
Or middle blocker.
Her and Elise, that'd be great.
Yeah, Elise clearly a libero.
Yeah.
I think Lacey Schneeman could be a libero too.
Possibly.
A women's softball player.
Yeah, she likes to dive.
Maybe an umpire. So, anyways, I just thought that was interesting that he literally talked about his entire team and left her off. I didn't know if there was something to that.
Did he leave off the team as well?
No, he mentioned everybody but her.
Huh.
I just didn't know if there's something to that we don't know about, or if it was just that or what.
Nothing. I had something in my throat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Let's get on to questions. Okay. But first, we'd like to give a big shout out to Vulcan. Vulcan
is the title sponsor of MLP.
And they will be using the new Gen 2 ball, which is great.
Why aren't we calling this the KOTC MLP? Because we have C&D Nets. We have Vulcan as the title sponsor. It's played at the Pickler.
Yeah.
I know at least 4 teams will be outfitted in stack.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay hydrated, We'll get you some holy performance.
Yeah. So Vulcan, title sponsor of PPA Tour, the official ball of PPA Tour, and also MLP, which they officially announced a week ago or so.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Go use them or go buy them. They are in stock. They are shipping. So if you want to use the ball that they're using in these tournaments, go check them out. Use code KOTC at vulcansportinggoods.com or pickleballcentral.com.
Also, just to be very clear, Vulcan also has a lot of other great products. I don't think we talk about them enough, but the one thing that I use a lot is their chalk.
Their chalk is incredible.
Yes.
It's a very, very low ticketed item, but it's incredible.
Yeah. It sounds funny, but they have the best chalk for your hands.
That hand rosin stuff.
Yeah, that hand rosin. So go.
Also, big shout out to our next sponsor of this segment as well is Holy Performance.
Yeah.
They came out with new flavors. These are not them, but they did come out with some new flavors. Incredible, really good hydration, good pregame, good energy.
Before the pod, I take the pregame.
Yes. Today you did?
Yeah.
That's why you're so amped?
I'm it's got me fired up. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling like $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love them. Go check them out. It supports us. It supports them, and you're getting yourself a great product, one that you will need in these hot summer days.
Oh, it's 98 outside today.
Yeah. So make sure to take it. Make sure to stay hydrated and treat your body right.
Yeah. Questions.
All right. So
I actually had the same question sent to me several times. And it said, do you think Colin got his paddles back?
I would imagine so.
I mean, it's his personal property.
It's his what?
Nothing.
Okay. Somebody said, who is this? MC? What is MC? Thoughts on MC?
Oh, it was Tropical.
Oh, MC.
The MC Master of Ceremonies, Tyler.
Thoughts on MC? Yes. Tropical is great. He's tall. He's 6'6".
6'7".
I thought he said 6'6".
6'7". I thought it was 6'8". Cost me $100.
Okay. Thoughts on MC asking the crowd about line calls when it is being reviewed? Do players care?
I guess that's a question for you. I thought it was great. I love how he was like, is it in? Is it out? Is it in? Is it out?
I don't think so.
I think it's great. And I think that if we would have had a big crowd there when the Black Bears played the Smash, it would have gotten rowdy. Was it in or was it out? Everybody's screaming.
Was it in by 5 feet or just 3 feet?
Yeah, everybody's screaming in same time,
Yeah.
Honestly, he is a great host.
Yes.
Great MC, super cool guy.
He used to do a lot of videos. I don't think he does those as much anymore, but he does a lot of he's a great content creator.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, so go check out his stuff.
What do you think about the video game? It's cool, but was it meant to feel old school? No, it's just the budget.
Yeah, it wasn't. But hey, see,
it's nostalgia.
That's actually
a good spin.
Yeah, that's a good spin. Was that a PPA PR guy that sent that to you?
I don't know. No. They said we want to make it feel like when the game was invented in 1965.
Yeah, like there's a tree in the middle of the court.
Exactly.
Where you have to serve with 1 foot in.
All right, I'll let you answer that. Somebody said, who are the secret romances on tour?
Who's smashing
who?
I don't know if there's secret, I'm sure there's plenty of secret hookups that nobody ever hears about, but I think most people are pretty public with their relationships. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know Jaume and Lane Sleeth. We know Casey Diamond and
you know what you should have said
Angie
when
Walker.
She said,
Greg Dow and Alex Walker?
When she said, nobody owns me. You should have yelled Jaume.
Yeah, that would have been pretty funny.
Should MLP teams be home or away? So not both teams wear dark uniforms.
So that's actually a rule.
So it is a rule.
You have to wear, they send you out what uniforms you're supposed to wear beforehand.
Yep.
Teams have not always followed that. In fact, there was DC at one point, James and Dekel were wearing different jerseys. Mm-hmm. And so they sent out a memo. And so, yeah.
That's another thing that I think MLP needs to get a little bit more in line with. But you have players which is understandable. They're wearing different color hats, different color, everything. And so I feel like if it's an MLP team, they should at least be required to wear the same color.
Yeah, I think the weird thing is when players don't even wear their team hats, they're wearing these random these random hats.
Yeah. And so APP clothing rules, should PPA do something similar?
Well, we just talked about MLP maybe having some conforming uniform standards, but in terms of no tank tops or no cutoff shirts, I mean, I think that's
so.
A little
PPA
bit.
actually does have a clothing standard, and they are starting to find people that don't abide by it. Or
Can
don't,
you wear
don't have the
jorts?
logos.
Can you wear jorts? Can you play in jorts?
I bet they would ask you to change.
You know what's back? You know what's coming back? Jinkos. Remember Jinkos?
What are those?
Those are like those shorts that are like long and then like the pockets go like all the way down to like your calf.
Don't take advice from Jimmy Miller.
No. Those are coming back.
Do not take
Jinkos.
Do not take fashion advice from
Get
Jimmy
in the
Miller.
comments and tell me if you yes or no if you know what Jinkos are.
All right, somebody said got to talk about the PPA awards they handed out. We did.
They were great. Memes did a much better job.
Which pro player game style does Jimmy most resemble? Dave Weinbach, do you know who the Badger is?
Respect the net. I would say that the pro player that I mostly resemble is
It's got to be the Badger.
Weinbach.
It's got to be.
Okay.
Your backhand is identical.
Me and Weinbach.
Your return of serve or your serve is identical.
Me and Weinbach would kill it. Weinbach gets really high, though. He does the really high, like, yeah.
Okay, Ben's MLP team trade Colin for Pablo. I don't see that happening, but who knows?
Well, I could see Ben wanting that, but why would Brooklyn do that? Would Colin help? Would Colin improve Brooklyn? I mean, Colin, Lane Sleeth. Could you imagine the eye rolls if you had to play with someone who's new to the game like Lane?
They'd be great.
Lina and frick! Every time De La Rosa goes for a speed up, Colin would be, oh gosh.
Can you please explain the memes of pickleball most likely to come from behind award?
Yeah, I think that they're just comeback kids.
The comeback kids.
Yeah, they really prefer, like they're kind of get down and they really make that run, that deep run to come back.
Yeah, they like to, give the other team a lead and come back.
Yeah, like it's, they like to kind of sneak attack without you knowing it.
Tyler, how much input do you expect to have on any MLP trades involving Utah? So I'm a player on the team. The coaches and GMs, they'll reach out to us for
Who's
input.
your GM?
It's many people. Many people. Yeah, so, I mean, they'll ask us, say, hey, what are your thoughts on this person and whatnot? And in the end, it's them that are going to be making the decision, but they'll get feedback. And sometimes I like to be involved, and then other times I'd prefer them to just do it because...
Would you love to be, like, surprised?
If it was a good surprise, sure.
Like, all of a sudden, they're like, hey, Tyler, guess what?
Yeah.
You're like, what? We traded for Tyson McGuffin again.
Yeah. Do you want to read that one?
Yeah, so who is the true Ernie King? So there's somebody, I don't even know who it is, I'll be really honest. And they have like a Instagram page called Ernie King Pickleball.
Uh-huh.
And like anyone can call themselves the Ernie King. But you actually didn't call yourself that. Somebody else did.
Somebody else gave me that title.
I feel like if you give yourself a nickname, it's probably not like that cool of a nickname. Mm-hmm. And maybe like you should, I don't know, it's weird to give yourself a nickname. Mm-hmm. So story time. When I was in high school, there was this kid. His name's Greer Haymond. He's a police officer now, so thank you, Greer, for your service. He was on our football team, and everyone has nicknames, right? When you're in high school, everybody. Did you have a nickname in high school?
I had a lot.
Yeah. So we're in the locker room before a game, and there are two stories about Greer. And Greer, we're all like talking to each other. We call each other by our nicknames, right? Mm-hmm. And Greer says, "Hey guys," I still laugh to this day. "Hey guys, call me Ox." And like we just looked at him like, you can't give yourself a freaking nickname, dummy. So that's
call
one.
Myself Ox.
Yeah. The other funny
story. Did you
story.
call him Ox?
No, we laughed. The other funny story about him is there's actually a few, but he broke. So our team was Spanish Fork, and he put SF on his face for a game. It painted it on his face, but he did it in the mirror, so it was backwards. So the SF was backwards.
That reminds me of when you're at the gas station and the gas pump is on the wrong side and you do a full 360.
Yeah. Literally it was backwards. So he had a backwards SF the whole game. Yeah. Same kid who stood up on, we were losing at halftime of a game, and he stood up on this bench. So he didn't play a lot. Like he was a good dude, but he didn't play a ton, right?
Sounds like a smart guy.
He stands up on this bench. And we're out, like we're kind of down, we're losing, and he starts screaming at the top of his lungs, and he goes, "You ready to go to war with me? Who's ready to go to war with me?" And he like smears the black paint on his face, and he's like pounding his chest. Who's ready to go to war with me? And the whole locker room goes dead silent. And we just look at him. And this kid, still one of my best friends this day, Sioele, he goes, sit down, dude. And then Greer just gets down and just slumps his shoulders. So if you give yourself a nickname, I think it's weird.
What city is he a cop for?
Orem.
If I get pulled over, I'm going to ask if he's Ox.
Yes, there you Ox. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, man, that's good. Okay, well, once again, if you made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Also, subscribe to our free 99 newsletter.
Free 99.
You get updates and some great pickleball content.
Yeah, we're going to start adding stuff. I think we're going to start adding some tips.
Yeah.
We have, obviously, we have some sponsors in there, coupon codes, things like that. But we'll do some stuff in there that I think people will be worth your while. I mean, it's an email. It comes to your email. You click on it. You look at it.
Jimmy is notorious for claiming he's going to be at events, then, of course, not showing up.
Yeah.
However, this next MLP, knock on wood, he will be there because his team is playing, and it is in Utah.
I mean, it's literally 30-minute drive for me. 45. Yeah, probably 45.
Regardless, we will be doing some podcasts there. If there's anybody specific, players, coaches, staff, whatever you are dying to get on, let us know and maybe ask one or two questions that you would like us to ask them.
Yeah, send them to us. I think a couple players that we're gonna try and get I think we're gonna do a Tardio and Hayden at the same time.
We're gonna do them.
We're not coming from behind like Riley and Pat.
They don't get down in matches.
That's true. So we're gonna try and get some players to come on and do, maybe 10, 15 minute.
Yeah, little segments,
pods, talk to them, talk about MLP.
Yep.
Do you think I get Annalie?
I hope so. That'd be fun.
Can I ask an honest question? So we've been to the Pickler in Kaysville. Mm-hmm. Where is she going to park the bus?
Oh, there's a massive parking lot. Are you kidding me?
But there's not a ton of room. So that's a park
in the back. There is, or on the front road.
That's true. Maybe. By the way, next to the Pickler, is Boondocks.
Yeah. Should we go there for a little?
Yeah, I think we need to
bumper car
let's
action,
do some
laser
challenges.
tag.
Yeah, it's like a arcade, bumper cars, mini golf. I think we should take some pro pickleball players.
Yeah.
And let's see how good they are.
See how athletic everybody
See how athletic they are and how good. We'll go do the batting cages.
Who's athletic? I think you have maybe five different sports.
Yeah, well, I'm tired of hearing about, Hayden played baseball. Oh, Dylan played. Let's go to the batting cages.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I'm super athletic.
I'm actually not tired of hearing about it.
But I feel like most sports I'm pretty good in, except for golf. I am so bad.
Really?
So bad in golf.
What about mini golf, though?
I think I'm fine.
They have mini golf there.
Baseball, I'm not good either. But basketball, football, soccer, skateboarding, dirt bike.
Is that a sport?
Dirt bike?
ESPN did their top 100 athletes since 2000. And they had 2 race car drivers in the top 10.
Who? Max?
I can't even remember. I think it was Helio Castroneves and someone else. Should race car drivers make the top 10 of athletes, best athletes?
F1 or NASCAR?
Either.
I think F1's pretty sweet.
Are they athletes?
I mean, I've seen some of their training they do, and I mean, the reaction time is wild.
You know who number 1 was?
Who? Serena?
She was 2.
Federer? Djokovic?
They were both top 10.
Michael Jordan?
He was not, because 2000, he was kind of phasing out by then.
Who was it?
Olympics. Think Olympics.
Usain Bolt?
He was 8. Who's the number 1 Olympic?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. Yeah.
Well, he needs some work on his pickleball game.
Well, yes, but that's what I'm saying.
So is he athletic?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he's athletic in the pool.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay,
Well,
if you made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video with your pickleball addicts, and we will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Hopefully we see you in person. MLP, Salt Lake. Come
Use
say
code
hi.
KOTC.
Yes.